Around this time last year, I started hearing my mother's name very heavily. Mind you, I was no contact with her, had been for quite some time. But I started hearing her name very heavily, and this went on for about 2 or 3 weeks. And one day I finally woke up and I said, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and call her today. So I called my mother, and as soon as she answered the phone, I could hear the smile in her tone. And she said, oh, it's like God answer my prayers. And I said, oh, what you been praying about? I prayed that God would bring my children back to me, have them call me, reach out to me. And it clicked. I didn't say anything at the time. I just let myself process what I was feeling, and I continued a little small conversation with her. Got off the phone. I sat with myself for the rest of the day, just letting myself feel what I needed to feel, see what I needed to see. And I realized what had happened. She was pulling on me energetically. And it also upset me because I have told you that I love you, I appreciate you, but it feels unsafe being in connection with you, which is why I decided to remove myself. You praying that I come back to you while you haven't even done any work to create a safe atmosphere for me to come back to felt very predatory. And things started making sense to me. Why I was aligning with certain people. It was me aligning with certain parts of my mother's energy that I still needed to heal through to be able to release. And I remember I called my mother back once I understood what I felt clearly. And I asked her to stop praying for me. She got upset. She said, I am your mother. What do you mean? That was a clue, an indicator that because she was my mother, she felt entitled to my energy, whether she was willing to do the work to be a part of my life or not. She felt entitled. And I remember screaming, you are unsafe, and hanging up the phone. And it may seem a little childish to some people, and I'll be okay with that because I've been parentified my whole life as the eldest daughter. I deserve to be childish sometimes. But I still had to do the work to release the energy. And I feel like I've been doing that for the last couple of months. Me making peace with the guilt that I was carrying surrounding wanting to keep myself safe. Several people in my family praying that I come back and engage with people who I have communicated are dangerous and unsafe in some way. This religious system that I was once a part of telling me that I haven't forgiven because I'm choosing to keep myself safe, ultimately. You're praying that I align myself with these people, ultimately praying against my safety. There is something about me, mind you, I've been off and on, no contact for years, but I could never release the energy because I was trying to run away from them, not understanding that I was still in alignment with their energy of me needing to be in connection with these people because they are family, and that's what God wants from me. And I really think that this is an issue that many people with religious parents have, religious mothers sometimes in particular. Because even though in your mind you're praying for them to keep them safe, oftentimes you are praying from a place of fear, not love. Because if they don't believe in God, see God through your eyes of religion the way that you do, you oftentimes will see them as doing something wrong or bad. And a lot of that is our parents' own guilt and shame that they use religion to hide from. People are going to see you, they're going to judge you, they're going to feel some type of way about you. You need to come over here, use God as the covering from all the things you don't want to deal with in regards to yourself, and stop being you with no restraints. And I feel like me coming to this understanding really has allowed me to let people go from a place of peace instead of anger and resentment, like carrying that, like, why do you act like that? What is wrong with you? You know? But me understanding it is deep rooted programming. It is oftentimes emotionally immature people using God as a scapegoat for having to do the work to grow and evolve and accept the shit about you that you don't want to accept. And when our parents see us like saying, you know what, I'll just move away from y'all because it's not safe over here, there's a deep fear that comes up for them because they never made that choice for themselves. They always fell in line with what someone else told them they had to be in line with. Even if these people are unsafe for you, you still got to do it because that's just the way life is. Me accepting that my life does not have to be me choosing unsafe people feels like a threat to my family system who has learned to operate in this way. You know that he got a problem with looking at women, touching little girls, just cover up. You be responsible for their actions. You know that your uncle is mentally unwell. Nobody is requiring him to go get help, so he just take out his frustration, his anger, his mental turmoil on everybody else. So just, make yourself a little bit smaller. Tone down your personality, your needs when he's around to keep him okay. Your granddaddy be hitting your grandma. So just make sure you overcompensate for what your grandma may miss to keep your grandfather from hitting your grandmother. Never mind, it's a choice that he making. You fix yourself up to make him better. These are all ideologies and beliefs that my family was carrying, and me choosing to be in connection with these people required me to be in line with these beliefs, and telling ourselves that if you love these people, you will shrink yourselves, you will shrink yourself to make sure that they're okay. We don't require people to get the help they need. We just alter who we are so that all of us can stay together and look like a big happy family in our pictures when we put on our family reunion shirts with our names on it to say that my family is solid.